Hello and welcome. I am Samiel Carolina. This is another Courageous Conversations for Three Sisters. Today we are extremely happy to be announcing that we are extending our conversations to women who are outside our Three Sisters inner journey. We want to invite women who are visionaries, bringing their feminine, nature-based leadership into our space and share with us their voices and their visions on behalf of life. As I said, I'm Samiel Carolina. I'm a soul alchemist, and today I have Tina Princ with me. Thank you, Tina, for being here with us and Three Sisters. Tina is an extraordinary woman that I met last year, and she is a visionary and the creatrix, I would say, of Things I Miss. Things I Miss is a brand and is a vision for us to explore how do we live and relate to our second skin. And Tina will explain us a little bit about this. But Things I Miss are also open spaces for us to explore how we coexist with different areas of our being, of our life, our planet, and everything that surrounds us. Tina, I think there is a lot to explore together here. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you for the invitation, and you did a very good entrance. Thank you.
It really impressed me last year, you know, just for our audience to know a little bit. We met on Instagram.
Thank you, social media.
Yeah, and we started to follow each other, but I think me being a designer, I was so touched by how you portrayed the essence of beauty, and I do believe beauty, you know, has extremely healing powers, and the way you capture this and the stories you tell through your pictures and through your creations. And when we finally met online, I was really touched with your vision. So I'm really happy that you're here to share with us.
Thank you.
So what is for you feminine, nature-based leadership? And you know, with all the work that you create, and you're very close to a nature-based leadership. What's that for you? What does it mean for you?
So what I think that if you enter into the story of Things I Miss, then you start to recognize the answer for your question. So leading the brand and the story like Things I Miss is a vision to push from inner world to the outer world, what's inside of us, what's the result of coexistences, like you said before. Because the living and loving and everything is a chemistry. And if you start to observe relations to people, relations of our body to textile, to fabric, relations to body and movement, so everything all of this is material for me to create. So it's really a very, very inner voice, I would say, and the part of intuition, of course. Intuition is very strong. So Things I Miss is not a brand who is functioning like the rules are in the world. So it's really upside down. I put everything upside down, even the rules of sewing and cutting the fabric. For example, sometimes we are discussing in the atelier that something is not, this is not possible. My female colleagues say, and I said, it's possible, because everything is possible. So we turn everything upside down. We create from the materials which are really basic. Why? Because they are more friendly to our skin. And this is what you said at the beginning. I really love the coexistence between the body and the fabric, because the fabric is our second skin, and this was the start of the brand. And then slowly, because the concept became so strong, so the concept of coexistence, the concept of being as natural as possible, the concept of not having the rules of other world. For example, we don't have collections. We do editions when inspiration is strong enough, and when our art language is strong enough to explain something or to tell the story. We don't photo shoot when it's expected that we do. We photo shoot when everything, all the puzzle is together, you know, the right person, the right space, the right feeling. And we don't use models. I love models, but I don't use them because they learn how to attitude before in front of the camera, and I don't like that. So I usually use dancers, actors, or just normal people who really know how to use the fabric and how to move and how to, I don't know, layer different forms. And so I could talk more, but maybe I give you a word for the second question.
No, it's what was coming, you know, as I hear you is what do you find is the quality that we need as women to lead in this way and to turn, you know, to have the courage to turn everything upside down and to really hold that space where we actually know that what we envision, it is possible. What you are saying, everything is possible. It's no impossible, right? I totally relate with that. But what is, in your experience, this quality of this nature-based leadership that keeps you, you know, going through those layers, yeah, of the system and the paradigm? Because okay, what's the quality for you? What do you feel? It's what
I would say the first thing is that you have really the true passion about what you are doing, because the passion is the fire. If you have a passion, then this fire, even though the water is coming or the oxygen is coming, you know, all the time will be a little bit of fire, and then you push up the fire or the fire will go down. So the passion is the rule number one, or the natural material that you receive from somewhere. So you have passion for something, and then you have to have courage, of course. And if you don't have a courage, you will not burn a fire if it will go down, you know. And if you don't have a passion, you will not have a courage. So these two needs to be together and coexist. If I use this word again, I love this word because we are living in coexistence of different kind of beautiful things. And then, you know, and then it's a fact that every time when you go up, it will be also down. And when you accept this, you know, going up and down and up and down, when you accept this, it's okay. And when you are down, you have to accept that the down is a period of new knowledge, new opportunities. And when you are down, you shouldn't close your eyes. You have to open even more when you are up, for example. Because when you're up, everything is light and everything's going on and everything is okay. But when you're going down, sometimes I'm happy when the things are going down, because I know I will find something interesting again. I will meet some interesting people or get some crazy ideas or something. So when these three things, I think, are most important, and that you are honest to yourself and honest to your people, that you are saying the truth, you know, because, for example, when we have tea times in our atelier, and when we are talking to women, you realize very soon who is really honest in talking and who not. And the persons and the beings who are able to be honest, they're always returning back. And the persons and the people who are not able to be honest and open and willing to share, they are not coming back, and these people are not for our story. So it's, you know, if you are honest and if you are living in a truth of the real material and energy, then everything will go, I don't know, will grow in very natural way. And then you just need the natural this is the natural leadership, you know, accepting the natural rules, I would say. So this is many times going against the rules which are in the system.
Yeah, yes, totally, right? Because what we are exploring here is the rhythms, yes, this up and down, yes, the cycles and the rhythms that are natural, yeah, and where, as you said, when we are down, when we are in the dark, this is when we develop our vision.
Exactly.
And where innovation comes from, right? Of taking deep care of ourselves. So, okay, actually, this is now what wants to be born through me or through this project.
And it's very natural, you know. Ups and downs are so natural, and usually people are afraid to go down. But, you know, it's a balance. You cannot be up all the time, and you cannot be down all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
It's the same with business, you know. There are periods when you have orders, projects, and your dreams can come true. You can realize the vision of the concepts. But then it comes the periods when everything goes down and it's calm. But at the end of the year, you see that you had a really nice constant of developing the passion.
We just, when we were entering this space of conversation, we both said, "Oh, I don't like, you know, the word fashion industry," but I will use that just to give a frame for us, for our conversation. But you know, we always explore. I mean, I studied industrial design, yeah, so I know industries and how they are conceived, right, and how the creation process is supposed to be. So, you know, it works on a market that, you know, is all kind of artificially constructed, and here we are turning into a more natural conversation and creation. But in the fashion industry, what we find is that you know, we are consumers, and we are consuming, in this case, clothing or accessories that we actually don't necessarily need, right? And so there is a whole machine, you know, behind our emotional needs and our personality needs, you know, that are supposed to be fulfilled with things that, you know, then we become attached, or we think they represent us, or they make me feel good, while actually the work that is needed is a more deeper work and underlying layers of being that wants to be revealed and expressed. But the fashion industry and what it offers, it doesn't really fulfills that expression, yeah, of what I call the essence, yeah, of us. And you are just saying that you are, you know, you use the word storytelling, and you are telling stories, and you offer creations for people to tell their stories, so express themselves through what they are wearing, through this second skin. What is for you something that women can do, women and everyone actually can do, or can try to think about, to leave the consumer role behind and start being the creator of that second skin that I wear, that I choose to wear? What is that? You know, what's for you the transformation that needs to happen? You see it probably in your clients, right? How someone shifts from consumer and, you know, keeping that industry alive to, okay, I will remove myself, because we need to remove ourselves from the system for the system to collapse. Yeah. So how can we make different choices? And so it's like, okay, I will see myself as the creator, and I will choose carefully my second skin. What's that transition? How do we get out of that system?
Yeah. Well, now when I was listening to you, you opened so many fields where we could discuss, and so many interesting issues, I would say. So I have to focus now how to, I will go through what you said. First of all, yes, it's true. Things Amiss is a story, and any other story that it's trying to go outside of the system and put things a little bit of upside down, and try to develop vision instead of the fashion trends and things like that. All of us, we have to have business plan, of course, and this is the reality. So if we want to survive, we have to keep the business plan. So there is a mathematics behind this, of course. And if that kind of stories want to be alive in the future, our consumers has to reach the state of mind where they spend the same as now, but their choices are different. So if they do that, we will survive. And the system which is living now, which is too fast and too chaotic and too not ethical, and everything is disaster, even though the big brands, like, no, I will not say which ones, but the big brands, they have money, and they have enough money, they can I don't know, they can buy a big factories, and then they can recycle things. But it's, again, not good for our nature, because I don't know what kind of process is recycling the clothing. We could also discuss this. But like I said, if that kind of stories, like our story, that is focused on the natural rules and the concepts of human body and fabric and the natural fabrics and slow production, which is not really production, I hate this word, it's creative process, because it's creation piece by piece. And I'm even more happy if I know the client, because then I know who will wear these clothes, who will make this form alive, because the same form and different body, it's a different story. This is really inspiring me. So if people spend the same money, but they do different choices, so they choose rather concepts than the fashion trends, this is our future then, because the mathematics will stay the same, the business plans are okay, everything is okay. So, and the other system will slowly collapse, because they will realize that something is really wrong, because everything is wrong in a fashion, even though they are trying very, hard to have ecological fashion, sustainable fashion. I don't like to use that word, because they are so used too much. And even brands which were big and they are still big, they use just different fabric, and they are developing sustainable fashion. And this is, they didn't do anything, just change the fabric. And this is not right. So you asked me how to transform from the classical consumer mindset to the mindset of conscious mindset, I would say.
Yeah, or creator.
Yeah, what I see when we are in a contact with our customers is that ladies or men who respect their body, and they have their conscious and mindset in a high level, in the sense of, I would say that they are not fanatical into the eco or whatever. They just want quality for their skin. If we are now talking about the clothing, they want to put on their skin something healthy, and they are really conscious about energy. Because, for example, if you buy, this is now the process of transformation. I'm talking with my clients a lot, and for example, what I noticed, they slowly start to be really afraid of fact that some clothes were traveling from I don't know which side of the world to here, that so many fingers and hands were on these clothings. What kind of stories are these? What kind of fingers? What kind of hands? Maybe they were beautiful people, but maybe they were so sad people, not satisfied. So this is all about energy. And then you put this cloth in a plastic bag into the ship, and then it's traveling to Europe, and then from big factories into the very nice shop, which the lights are really nice and everything is so nice and everything is so fake. So they're starting to think about all this process. So I think when you are discussing with your customers about the source, so where is this coming from? Who did your clothes? Where this clothes travels? And all this stuff, then they start to think about it, And we have clients, mostly they come again and again to our atelier, or they buy again and again our things, or they order projects just because of our philosophy. We do everything in our atelier. We do everything with people that we know. We offer people that they are, paid how the tailors were paid in the past. We don't have workers. So we collaborate with educated people, or people who really have a lot of knowledge, and they have to be paid for this. So we respect old tailoring business, or tailors had ateliers before. We didn't go to the factory to buy our clothes. Everything was really individual. So when they do this transformation in their head, they start to think about it. And the second phase, so this, I would say this is the phase number one, when they realize that so many different and not necessary things are inside their clothing, because it's a necessary thing, not necessary things. Clothing could be buy somewhere nearer, not to travel, I don't know from where. And the second part of their mindset and growing of conscious is that less is more. And the rules are really nasty, I would say. So the fashion rules are not right rules, because they change the trend every 6 months. They said but this is now in, and every 6 months, this is crazy. We should do fashion weeks every second year. I always say that it's enough, because it's not natural to create a good forms and interesting forms every second or every 6 months. It's not natural. So the second part of the conscious is so they start to realize that they can have one piece for all year round sometimes, or they can have 10 pieces for all year round, and they just layer them. Or you encourage them, because in our atelier we encourage ladies to come in, or men, and they just try things. They don't need to buy anything. Just put them on, combine with some others, do a knot, I don't know, use your blouse as a scarf or whatever, turn around, upside down, whatever, and create. And many women really became creators of their wardrobe, and they have their individual expressions, within the forms, within the, I don't know, needs. It's an interesting traveling, I would say. Also for me, it's really interesting to see when one lady comes and I see, wow, what a nice combination you did with, I don't know, our gauze scarf or whatever. Maybe I was too long, but I hope I express in the right way. It's really a hard theme to discuss.
Yes, I'm aware we are having a short time and many layers to this conversation, because you know what's coming to me, what you are saying beautifully, is that, you know, at the end is this also this shift that shifting from trying to fit in, as you say, you know, this uniform that we are all told that, you know, it's like, just play safe, you know, you go with the trend and the collection and what is hip, which what I find is dangerous, is that, you know, everything becomes hip in this world, right? Like the fashion, the diets, the sexual practices, the businesses and how you do businesses, like everything suddenly becomes hip. And then, but when you awake, it's just like, but I am the creator. I can, and actually I don't need to fit in or to follow, but actually, you know, create, allow myself to express. And this comes back to this connection with ourselves and what is the quality in me that now wants to be expressed or experienced, and what is the second skin that best suits my own need for expression, right? And that is your inner drive to go and shop, if we are talking about shopping, shop for something so I can express this quality, but I need to be like in a constant inner dialogue with myself so I can go out. I don't just go out because I received my salary and I go and, oh, now black is on trend, or now the dots with feathers or angel wings are on it's like on fashion. Right? It's like, it's a fascinating topic, and of course there's a lot of things to explore here.
But it's a really big transformation.
Yeah, it's
if you want to become a creator of your style, because okay, there are stylists who are you know, who can say about colors or anything.
Yeah, what suits you on your body. Yeah.
But you know, if you want to be a creator of your own style, you are really on a high level then already, you know, because you don't bother about the others, you don't bother about the system, you are on your own. But you, at the same time, you need to be individual, but not so much, you know, because we are living in a community of people coexisting with each other. It's, yeah, like I said, it's a really interesting theme to discuss. And you know, the being a creator of your style is just a result of where the world should go.
Yeah, rising as creators, and also finding the places where you really belong, because when you find your true expression, then you belong to groups or communities. You don't fit in places, but you are just this magnetic thing. And one thing that comes that I want to just express here before I ask you the next question and we finish, is that, you know, is this concept of less is more. I think it's very important for us all to understand, because there's a lot of people, you know, when you speak about things that are sustainable or alternative fabrics or different ways of, you know, slow creation process, people think that, you know, it's more expensive, right? It's like, oh, no, it's too expensive, you know, like cosmetics or, you know, clothing or accessories. And yeah, it might be more pricey than a normal industrial product. But I think if we think, you know, holistically, you know, about what we are buying and what you're wearing, and it's not more expensive at the end, because we are sustaining, you know, many other people, ourselves, the planet. It's a long-lasting investment. I mean, I have things for years and years and years and years, and I keep using them because they just suit me or because I can't reinvent them. It really is, you buy much less. So what you were saying, you know, in the previous answer about, you know, how much we need to invest in terms of money to buy sustainable things, it's really an equation to sit a little bit and each one of us make our numbers and see the impact. I think how we earn our money is important, but how we spend it is more important when it comes to thinking about the future and committing ourselves to make a difference with every choice that we make.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like I said, you spend the same, you just
yes.
buy less.
Exactly.
You buy less and you buy different things. And what is also important is that when you buy, if you buy, for example, cosmetics from one family business from, I don't know, Austria, who develop life creams and things like that, then you support this philosophy. So you have to be aware of this. If you buy in our story, then you support our story. This is the mindset which is also important. If you buy in cheap stores, then you support this concept. So if you support this concept, it's really dangerous if you do it every month. You will support, so you are creating the cheap future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm supporting your words. It's really important how we spend money and where we leave money.
Yes.
If we leave money into the good philosophies and healthy business, then we will support them and we will live in really nice society. But if we just spend money and every week 50 euros we live in a cheap shop, just that we have new scarf and new blouse because we need something new, then we will support this not healthy business. This is really important. People don't think about that.
No, I think that's how I see it. You know, like the consumer mind spends money, and the creator mind sees everything as an investment. Because I am constantly creating, right?
Exactly.
I create in my health, my style, but my future, the future of my children, the future of the animals. That's how I see it and how I work with it.
Exactly. That's a really good statement. Yeah. Creators invest, and consumers, the average consumers, they just spend money. Very good.
Tina, I want to ask you, can you share with us if there are materials that are really sustainable and making a difference? I know there are many gray areas when it comes to materials, but maybe you can educate us in what we should be looking at when we say, okay, I will try to be, more conscious about what I buy, what the materials that I'm looking for. What are the earth-friendly and animals-friendly materials?
Very important is that you check all the labels, that you read labels. So what we are following now is that we are buying fabric which are certified, so that they have global organic textile standard, at least. This is a certificate which is German, and it's really straight. And if we buy this material, then I trust that it's controlled from the beginning to the end. And when I dye things, I also control colors for the materials, that they are vegetable or they are water they are made from on the water basis. But sometimes, for example, we have a lot of black creations and white or strong colors. In this case, you cannot use vegetable colors because you cannot reach the black. And then we collaborated with one lady from Germany, and she's specialist in the colors, which are without heavy metals or any other substance which is not really good for the skin, because the skin is the biggest organ, and when we sweat, the skin
absorbs.
Yeah. So that's the reason I really take care of what we buy, from which material we create. And so this is what I always say to the people: when you buy the underwear, it's nice that you see the global organic textile standard at least, because, for example, sometimes people are happy, they say, wow, I bought 100% cotton underwear, but that's not enough. Because 100% can be dyed with heavy metal, with the colors who has heavy metals in it, and so on. So you need to read labels, and being sustainable or being ecological 100%, it's not possible. So no materials these days are not 100% natural. If you do it on your own, then maybe yes, because you control all the layers of the process. but you know, being 100%, it's not possible. We are using the pinatex from, this is the pineapple leaf fibers material, which was created in a laboratory in Spain, and it's almost biodegradable. So this is, for example, one of the materials which I really love, because it's natural, and it's, I would say, almost 100% natural. I don't know, because you know, you don't know all the process, but it's biodegradable. It's alternative for the animal leather. It's alternative for all leather bags. If you want to have a leather belt or whatever, you can create it from the pineapple leaf fibers materials, for example. And there are many others. So there are many other material already, and they are still developing materials which are created from the waste, from the plastic bottles, from the pineapple leaf fibers, who are really the trash from the harvests, from I don't know, apple skin also. So the world is now creating a lot of interesting materials. But on the other hand, I don't know when the discussion will start about the processes, you know.
Yes.
Other processes also.
Yes.
So this is what I didn't fall into so much still, or yet. And they are not maybe talking a lot about that, but yeah, you know,
there's always a gray area.
Yeah, so that's the reason I said being 100%, it's a big, you know, question.
Yeah, I remember I was in Germany 2 years ago, and I bought my first pair of boots made in pinatex with pineapple fibers. And as you said before in one of your answers, I felt energetically the difference on my feet. Like, really, no joke. It was amazing. I was like, oh my God, this really feels like breathing and light and alive, you know, like things carry life force, you know, it's not a dead animal. It really has life force. But then I remember coming home and checking on internet, yeah, but how are, you know, where are these pineapples coming from? Are they, you know, is the plantation of pineapples sustainable, or, you know, or we are destroying a forest to plant? There's always, as you say, in the processes, and you know, every step of the process, or the creation process is still to be explored more in depth. And so just to wrap up our conversation, could you leave us with a message or an inspiration of why it's important that you know, women start to really believe in this, in this intuition, in this drive, in this passion? It's like, I want to, you know, make things differently in this or that field. Why do you see how the world could be if more of us are, you know, daring to birth our passion and do things differently?
Well, if I look around and put in my mind the ladies which I know, if 50% of these ladies would be more powerful and more, you know, living through the day from the stomach, I would say, you know, saying from the stomach, you know, be angry when you are angry, you know, scream when you are, I don't know, angry or cry or whatever. If more ladies would be more spontaneous and with more intuition and more passion and everything, and if more ladies would dare, because we are really, our nature is that we have some kind of special something from above that men don't have. It's a true. We can give a birth and anything. We are not better than men, but we have something special, and we should be aware of that. So if 50% of my ladies would be more powerful, it would be so much colorful, you know. The conversation would be more colorful. The coffee time would be more colorful. You know, everything would be more passionable. So this passion is what I'm really missing within the ladies, you know. And that's the reason I really love to to do what I do, because I encourage ladies to be more, you know, from the stomach. So live from the stomach. This is my message, maybe. Yeah, it's a message. Be brave enough and live from your stomach.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Tina, for being here with us. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoy, you learn, you got inspired, and see you on the next Courageous Conversations then. Okay. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you.